Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. So, time for what Grandma would have made, and I'll put the hashtag, and if any of you channels or anybody has a recipe or something that their grandma did, you know, send it to me at citygirlhomestead2022 at gmail.com, and I'd love to add it. These next 2 weeks will be all duplicates of things that I've made before, and maybe a few times. But it's things that my grandma made. And what's really funny is the older I got, the less she cooked. Like in the summertime, we'd get bologna sandwiches or a hamburger because back then it was cheap. And but she'd always make something nice for dinner or whatever. We'd have, you know, warm up sometimes because there'd be leftovers. And at one point, she couldn't have a microwave because my grandpa had a pacemaker, so everything had to be warmed up on the stove. And I hope that this week brings back some memories. As you guys know, my grandmother died in 1990, and she was my fierce protector. One of the greatest people I've ever known. And I loved her to pieces, and I still do. And there's not a day goes by that I don't miss her. And my dad didn't like her cooking, but I did, so I don't care. But she was a good cook, and she baked really, really good. And there's going to be one thing that I'm going to try I've never made before, and I'm going to try it that she used to make, and I loved, loved, loved it. So we're going to get to doing this. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I looked at the thing. Most of the people that watch me aren't subscribed. Do that. I'm not getting the subscribers, and then they keep taking them away. Give me a couple, take them away. So let's add that up. All right. So I am making tuna fish casserole. This is something my mom made. My grandma made it. I'm going to do a couple alterations to it. Just because. Now, my grandma would never have bought fresh mushrooms because she's actually from a little town called Vesterberg. And we had, when I was a little girl, all we had was their little store where you'd go get your slices of bologna, and they'd have a few groceries there and whatever. And it was just a few blocks away. They didn't have any, like, fresh mushrooms and stuff like that, you know. Eventually he did open up a bigger store outside of town and on the highway. But then actually he closed that down too. So they don't have a grocery store there anymore. So she would have used canned mushrooms. Not home canned, but canned. But I'm going to use my home canned. Then of course she would have used cream of mushroom soup. And a little bit of milk. And of course the tuna. I'm using more tuna than what she would have used. She would have used 1 can, maybe 2. My grandma was very, very frugal. And if it could be made with less, then she would do it. But then I told you guys they only made like $200 and some a month in my grandpa's Social Security. And in memory of my grandma, I'm drinking iced tea. I grew up on tea at my grandma's. She always had a big jug like I do right now. That's what she always had. And it was instant, although they don't sell my instant anymore because they took it off the market. I do decaffeinated, and they have the caffeinated instant, but not the decaffeinated anymore. Which that really sucks because I haven't done caffeine in years. Since I started my change, caffeine makes my heart jitter. So I don't do caffeine. I could have actually probably used a second can of soup. But we're going to stay frugal about this. And then This is an addition of mine. I don't remember if she ever added it or not. I don't think she did. But I'm going to add a few peas. They're still frozen because, well, I forgot. But that's okay. It'll work. And we're going to get those mixed in there. I think this is going to work out beautiful. I'm going to heat this up again a little bit. Just because the peas are frozen. So what I want you guys to do is, if you have memories of your grandma and or grandpa or both grandmas, and there's something that they really made and you liked it, and or if your grandma made this, you know, let me know. I know that back then, not that I'm like real old, I'm 58, but back then there was a lot of pastas, potatoes, yeah. So this isn't going to be the healthiest of weeks, but like some people said, you know, back then she cooked with bacon grease and other stuff, and now they're finding that these other oils that people use, they're not as healthy for you. So that back to the bacon grease and real lard and all that good stuff, it's a lot healthier for you than that crap that they serve you now. So now I think that, you know, I think that it is important to get back to more natural foods and get all those additives out of our foods and things like that. And we should encourage that. I had someone say something about that today. And, you know, the thing is, I agree with that. But if you look on your, if you actually look it up, a lot of that organic food still has things sprayed on it, whatever, to keep its color, its shape, blah, 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 you know. And a lot of us truly cannot afford to shop organic. It's just really expensive. So, you know, I am for whatever you need to do to feed your family. Would I like everything to be pure? But honestly, even our milk is not pure. If you wanted to drink milk, you're going to have to go to a farmer, and good luck finding one that you can actually buy the milk. I do not like unpasteurized milk. I can't stand it. My uncle was a dairy farmer for years, and they'd always tease me, make sure you put it in the fridge. Chrissy doesn't like it warm. Then I found out at my brother's funeral that my cousin, her dad was the one that was the farmer. She's like, I never drank that crap either. And I'm like, but you guys tease me. But just about everything that you make, unless you do a whole food, it has something in it. And, you know, in this day and times with as much how expensive groceries are, you do what you have to do to feed your family. Make sure your kids and grandkids and yourself have full bellies. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to put a little bit more pepper in there. You don't need to add a whole lot more salt because obviously there's salt in that soup. My mushrooms are probably healthier than the ones from the store because those are from my fresh mushrooms. They aren't the ones I recanned. And I don't put salt in any of my stuff. So now we're going to make it into a casserole, like Grandma would have done. My mom very seldom made it into a casserole. Usually she made it in the pan, and that's how it got served. And also my grandma and my mom alike, they both put bread and butter on the table every day. And I am not a big bread eater. Neither is Tom. So there won't be any bread and butter on the table. So now, she would have hand ground her cheese, which I have some. We're going to use that white American cheese that I had. And then we're going to use just a little bit of Just enough to cover it. We don't want it to be all cheese. I hope my views don't go way down because it's like stuff I've already made, but I just thought this was so much fun, and hopefully you guys will like the recipes I have picked, and maybe it'll bring back some memories. Now, I only remember her doing this once or twice, but she would take some chips and she'd crinkle them on top. Because, you know, back then you could get a bag of chips for, 10 cents, 15 cents. They weren't very much. I know she also did this with breadcrumbs, too. I remember that. Alrighty. It's going to break Tom's heart that I have leftover chips. He's a chipaholic. I'm going to throw that in a 350 oven. Let it get nice and toasty and warm and melty. Tom has the chiropractor tonight, so he'll be home just a little bit later. But, like I say, I hope this does bring back some memories. And, you know, I think after the holidays, and we've missed all those people that we love so much, it's nice to kind of bring their memories back and to think about them. And, like, I couldn't tell you one bad memory about my grandma. My other grandma died before I was born. I never met my other grandpa, but my grandparents on my mom's side, I had both of them. I had my grandpa till I was 16, and I had my grandma till I was, I think, 24. Yeah, I think I was 24. So, yeah, I hope these videos the next 2 weeks bring back those beautiful memories. And if there's things that you haven't tried, you know, that Grandma made, then maybe try them. But we're going to let that bake. I'm going to get my mess cleaned up, and I'll be back when it's done. Alrighty, so it's out of the oven. Take a look at that. Tom is on his way home. Well, actually to the chiropractor. So I did turn the oven off, and that way I can put it back in there, and it'll stay nice and warm. We won't use the microwave. So let's take a small bite. Isn't it funny, the stuff that we eat, that our grandmothers made, our moms made, whatever, and it carries on to generation? I think that's pretty cool. Tuna fish casserole is like a bite of home. Actually, it's the first dish I ever made for Tom, because it's his favorite. So, he will be home shortly, and then we'll get a taste test from him, see what he thinks. And I hope you guys don't mind the repeats. I hope you just have fun with me. So, let's have fun this week and next week, and see what Grandma cooked. Well, hi, Tom.
Hello.
Look at tuna fish casserole, and you're starved.
Yum, 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 yum.
You had to wait till I got off the phone. What was the first meal I ever cooked for you? And I won you over, didn't I? What, I still win you over today with that?
I never had it baked.
You've had it baked. Well, this
has at home.
This has chips on it too. Did you know that? To make it get a little bit of a crunch.
Potato chips in it?
On the top.
Well.
Yep. Just like Grandma made it.
Mom used to always put crackers on.
Yeah, well, my grandma would do crackers too, or breadcrumbs. Belle's over there start yelling at you because she knows there's tuna in there.
He smells tuna.
All right, we're going to let Tom eat. He's had a long day and he's really hungry. You guys have a blessed night. Be a blessing. Goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
Bye, Jack.
Bye.
Is it good, Jack?
Yeah, I'm done.
He already ate his whole plate full.
Is she?
All right, you guys. Have a great night.